surveys. Take just 20 seconds to become a business revolutionary by sharing a fan bragging story of great customer service by using the hashtag FanBrag or calling the Fan Bragging hotline at 855-FAN-BRAG. FANBRAG. Now back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show, home of positive business talk as we've turned the corner into 2018. Wondering, new year, new job?
Well, according to a new survey from the staffing firm Account Temps, approximately 3 people in 10, so about 30% of professionals plan to look for a brand new position in the next 12 months. And are you one of them? Of the 27 markets surveyed, three cities actually top the list: Los Angeles, Austin, and Dallas, of where the most workers are planning on finding new opportunities. We have with us the Account Temps District President, Josh Warburg. Josh, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Hey, great to be here.
Hey, Josh, very nice to have you along with us. What's going on in LA, Austin, and Dallas that makes so many people want to move?
Boy, it's a great question, right? Why those 3 cities? I think that it probably has to do a little bit with the industry mix in those 3 cities. You've got a lot of tech and a lot of companies that are on the move, and typically companies that are maybe not as established, people stay longer. So I think there's some market dynamics in terms of the industries that are involved.
It is very interesting, and I think to myself, tech, that's great money. There's great money in that. But money is not everything. Isn't that correct, Josh?
I couldn't say that more. If you take a look at the statistics, the number one reason why people leave positions is because of their leadership. So money's not everything. I think once people take the job, it's all about the connection with the manager and the teams that they work with.
All right. So if people are on the move and I mean, 30% of those surveyed thinking they're looking for a new job, what's some advice you have to have for us if we're going to be in the market or trying to market ourselves?
Yeah. People ask me that question year after year, and my response is always the same, which is don't think about behind the back moves. It's the simple stuff, right? One is just make sure that you have a competent professional resume put together. Some people like a 1-page resume. Some people like a 2. I think that either one is fine. The big thing that I think people can polish up on, though, is their social media presence, especially their LinkedIn profile, making sure that that is professional and very up to date, because hiring managers at this point look at that just as much as they do the resume.
But Josh is talking about social media presence. I've got my professional Facebook profile, and then I've got my my beer chugging personal page. They're not going to look at my personal page and hold that against me, are they?
If it was me, I wouldn't.
but I like it, Josh.
I do think that there are employers that do that will take a person's name and put it into Google and put it into Facebook and take a look at people's social media accounts. So, it's always advisable that what you put out there for the world to see is something that you want represented in terms of what your brand is.
Well said.
Okay, so if we are updating, our profiles, such as, if we're currently employed, but we want to be employed by somebody different, what are some things, because we obviously don't want to say that and change that out loud, but what are some things that we definitely want to make sure that we include, because it is a different marketplace. I mean, I remember when we used to have to say I was proficient in Word and Excel. Are those even necessary anymore?
Well, yes. So was the first question also part of, so if I'm confidentially looking, how do I do that?
Right. Yeah. How do I make sure that my social profile is appealing without giving away that I'm looking?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the best thing to do is to think about the position that you're looking for and tailoring your social media presence, especially LinkedIn, to what you're looking for, right? Like if you're trying to make an industry change, well, then try to take the things that you've done and your accomplishments and translate that into the industry that you want to move into.
Okay.
So, that would be my best advice. I think, if you're trying to do a confidential search overall, you're probably going to have to use a recruiter or something out of house, because it is hard for employers to determine simply by a social media presence if a person is looking. That's hard to tell.
Right. Right. We're talking about the trend in 2018 that a third of those surveyed are going to be looking for a new job. And we're so fortunate to have District President Josh Warburg here with us. They say here 33% of human resources managers eliminated a candidate for being too pushy after an interview. Aren't we supposed to follow up?
I guess there's a limit, right?
So what do you recommend?
Well, I think people should follow up in the manner that they would think to themselves. It's almost like the golden rule, right? How would you want to be followed up with? And being professional and persistent is great. Being pushy and demanding is not. It sounds, when people are pushy and demanding, it sounds like people are desperate. And, I think that the personality and the tone that you use when you're following up with a prospective employer, the employer should feel like, wow, that's the person that's going to show up here.
Sure.
And when people are professional and persistent and thoughtful and kind, then they think that's the person that's going to show up here.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense. 80% of the respondents said that they appreciate thank you messages, thank you notes from the candidate. So,
but don't show up with a
bottle of wine and a box of roses saying, "Hey, how do you feel about me now?" But a thank you response. I think a lot of times people miss the thank you.
Yes, for sure. That is a lost art. The handwritten note in particular seems to be a bit of a lost art. I see that very frequently in people that we have interview, and I do think that is a very important thing, because I think the thing that it shows is it shows gratitude.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you. I'm really appreciative. And gratitude, one of the number one things that links people is gratitude. So I think employers are really looking for that. Is the person that I'm interviewing, are they not only skilled, do I like them, but you know what? When they walk out the door, do they have gratitude about the fact that we took the time to interview them? It really says something.
I think it does too. Now, Accountemps is doing a lot to bring more jobs and pair companies with the right staff. How do you want people to get in touch with you or connect with Accountemps, Josh?
Simply through our website, easiest way, accountemps.com.
Accountemps.com. Okay. So for all of us that, kind of grew up with the 1-page resume deal, there's been some leniency that now maybe 2 pages is pseudo acceptable. So,
or 10 if you've got them.
No, I don't think so. The resume isn't the only thing that people are looking for. They're looking at your social sites as well. It is a new paradigm, and what you do online matters. It matters not only today, but to your future employees as well. And then a nice little thank you note, nice little message of gratitude goes a long way. Josh, anything else you want to add to this?
No, just thank you guys for the time. I've loved being on.
It's our privilege. We appreciate you for sharing with us. Accountemps.com is the website. You can find more information about them as well. That's Josh, and we appreciate you for joining us.
A third of the people are looking for a new job.
It surprises me.
It's time for a change.
I guess.
Like mixing things up a little bit.
Right.
A lot of it.
But that's a good thing. And Josh brought some good attention to the things that are resonating, and gratitude is right there. End of the interview, but at the top of the list for how to stand out when somebody's doing a job interview. Because
there's so many people that are competing for that same position, right? How do you stand out? We didn't talk very much about the original introduction into it, but so many people are getting jobs because of people they know, how they're networked,
right?
It's not who you know, but who knows you. Yeah. And so if you are looking for a change, let the people in your sphere of influence know. And
just be careful,
right? I mean, if you're currently employed,
be careful,
right? Got to be careful. But, those that are closest to you, keeping just keeping that conversation going, private conversation. Don't put anything in writing just yet, but private conversations. Because a lot of times those introductions and the ways to get into that dream company that you've been wanting to get into, it's somebody it's a recommendation. So
that's right.
Go and mine your LinkedIn. Who do you know that works for that dream company you've been wanting to work for? I have some friends that are actually hiring a project manager. They're looking for a real go-getter. So yeah, people are hiring. People are looking. It's match made in heaven.
There you go. Josh Warburg, AccountTemps.com. We'll be back right after these messages. We're going to wrap this program up, put a bow on it, because that's what you like here on the Experience Pros Radio Network. For the archives, check out experiencepros.com.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for